healthy anger and love, how to feel more of what you want to feel okay with what you're feeling, and deal with the people who might have unhealthy anger and not really give you the love vibes you're looking for. Hey, I'm David Solomon, and this video took me over 20 years to be able to film. It's so important, so huge, and the topic is really kind of scary. So let's just be really clear, what is healthy anger and what is unhealthy anger? Well, the easier thing we could just rock out first is unhealthy anger. It's not fun, it's destructive, people lose their cool, and they're just like, "Ah," right? And when somebody loses themselves and you feel the energy coming at you, it really doesn't feel good. It can feel really scary. We don't want it around. And while we could say things like, oh, anger covers up sadness, or they're really hurting deep down inside, for you and your goals and your orientation and your intentions, the vibration of anger can actually be healthy. What does that mean? If you're in an aligned place and you're feeling a charge, and that charge feels like anger, especially if you're with people who are sensitive or not used to expressing healthy anger, you can permission it. You can say, I feel some anger right now, and I want to release it in a healthy way, but a true way. And that way people don't think you're just somebody who blows up whenever they feel like permissioning healthy anger, right? It's nice to kind of get consent, because in our culture, the word anger and those feelings are usually like dangerous, right? So what is healthy anger? I'll just, give an example. Gosh, I can't believe that watermelon decided to get up and make a smoothie. I needed that watermelon for my pinochle game, and it just thinks it could get a smoothie anytime. This is so frustrating, right? In this case, the watermelon who wanted to make a smoothie, maybe was breaking an agreement, a sacred agreement that we made vows to each other. And I was frustrated, I was angry, and I released it, but I wasn't like, I'm gonna kill that watermelon. I'm like, oh, right? I was releasing some stuff. Now, sure, we could be all detached and happy fairy surrender. Oh, it was the watermelon's destiny to make a smoothie instead of playing pinochle. But at the end of the day, we're human, we feel what we feel, we grow how we grow, and while our goal could be to be a pleasant, beautiful, perfect peach, sometimes it's just real and okay to have anger in your system. So when you permission it for yourself and for others, you're giving space to release energy of a certain frequency. So how is anger linked to love? Well, if you think about the heart and the heart chakra, what I said earlier is very often true. Anger can cover up sadness. And if you're sad because you really wanted to play pinochle and the watermelon ditched you to go make smoothies, and deep down you were just wanting that connection, that belonging, that group activity, and you were let down, and it reminds you of when you were let down as a kid and you wanted to play with this dog, but instead you wanted to build model airplanes and forget about you, and you just felt so rejected, and you never got to give out your cry from that, and you don't want to feel that because it was so raw, so you'll get angry at the watermelon, and watermelon's everywhere, right? So that's the trigger from the childhood memory, et cetera, et cetera. We in the healing circles get this. So if you want to deep down clear a source of anger and transmute it, one of the best recipes is to take the whole scenario and envelope it in love. How can you feel love for the watermelon? Substitute your favorite political adversary or enemy or person of the disagreement, there. I'm using a very neutral word here, but feel love for the watermelon. Be so grateful that the watermelon is acting in his or her truth, its truth, and making a smoothie, and say, I'm so happy, watermelon, that you get to nourish yourself and do what's right for you. And I'm so grateful for this moment to just accept that I didn't need to play pinochle with a giant piece of fruit, and I'm okay and whole in this moment, and I actually really mean that, because I have so much self-love. I don't need watermelons to play pinochle with me, because I just feel blissed out and awesome, right? Now, while I said a minute ago that was the ideal goal, if you can even just say that once out loud, some version of it, where you might feel anger, even after you release anger, you can kind of fill up your system. You can band-aid it up, right? Because say somebody hurt you or something bugged you and you release anger in a healthy way, you still might feel wronged. You still might feel charged. You still might maybe be skeptical of their intentions or follow through in the future. I can speak from example. I'm just going to make up a scenario. I knew somebody named Dan. I was counting on Dan to do something. He didn't do it. I got ticked at him. Then I got ticked at myself for trusting him. And then I let him know that I was ticked at him and that I thought trust was affected negatively. And then, of course, because he was aware of that, and those are the words I used, a relationship degraded and wasn't what it could have been. Now, sure, I'm not gonna. I could talk about how it could have repaired, or how it did repair, it did go up or down. But just for that snapshot with Dan, I allowed the reality of my anger being justified and myself being right to take precedence over the entire scenario. And if I had loved Dan unconditionally at that moment, if I had loved myself unconditionally at that moment, then instead of saying I'm permissioning anger and I'm angry with you for doing something wrong, I realize, oh, I feel hurt. I feel that love could have come in. Love did not come in. Therefore, I am unloved or unlovable. You know, the deep subconscious stuff, I wouldn't say that out loud as an incantation. And therefore, this person doesn't love me, so I'm not going to love them, and we're just going to keep our distance like a pair of dead skunks, right? Which I guess have no choice about distance because they're dead unless you animate them. Anyway, so love and anger can go together when you put love first, right? And putting love first doesn't mean suppressing anger. It doesn't mean trying to put it in a nicer, prettier package than how it comes out. It means as soon as you can, like actually believe you can, take effort to inject love into the anger container, into that whole scenario of thoughts, words, and action. Even if it sounds corny, saying, I love you, Watermelon. I love you, Dan. I love this scenario. I'm okay with it. I'm grateful for it. Can be such a huge release, right? Anger can be so destructive and so scary and so harmful that even when we release it in the healthiest way, we want to not necessarily smooth it over, but remind ourselves of what that ultimate goal is, right? The ultimate goal of being blissed out and in love. I'm not saying that to ridicule it. I'm saying it to make light of it and to show that, yeah, it could be far off, but if you have, to walk a mile in the sand, and after walking a mile, you have this amazingly fabulous experience you've wanted to have for years, every single one of those steps is worth it, right? 5,280 feet in a mile. Maybe you'll have to practice this technique, 5,200 times until it's your default and you never have any anger issues, whatever. You know, that'd be nice to check off your list of things in life. So whatever the number is for you, 10, 12, 15, 20, 100, 1,000, it's not going to be, a crazy amount if you really dedicate and know that you're going to shift to love and peace and surrender. Now, if you'd like help with that, if you'd like cool practice sessions, the Magical Masterminds are the best place for it. They're weekly gatherings where people get together, support each other. I teach different topics. I do one-on-one spot coaching and the group benefits as a whole. There's also Wizard School, a collection of the best stuff I've learned in over 20 years of studying magic, spirituality, personal growth, psychology, all this good stuff. If you feel you really have something to work on or you just want help in general, reach out to me through magicalgoldenage.com/mentoring. We can talk one-on-one, a little bit, a lot, on an ongoing basis as needed, and I can really help you make the transformation you'd like to make inside. I hope you found this video valuable. If you have any questions or thoughts or experiences, please share in comments. And if there's somebody you think who could appreciate this, go ahead and share it with them. Make sure to include a heart so they don't think you're harping on, a time they were angry in the past and you're pushing them away. And let's just all work on being in a healthier, more balanced, more loving world. So thank you, and namaste, damn it.